a 19-year-old hasn't even gotten their foot wet yet, and the 50-year-old knows a lot about life. My question is, what does a 50-year-old, what is he doing or she doing talking to a 19-year-old?
Sex.
Okay. I think now in today's world, I believe that people are seeing it as more so predatory, because I'm not going to say all men that are 50 are walking around here being a predator, but a lot of them are known for preying on the young ones because they don't know nothing. It's the reason why they go for the younger age, because they can't go for somebody that's close to their age, because she's going to be like, I know what you about. No, it ain't going.
Wait a minute. What's happening? This is Gator.
What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Mamba.
And it's the Gator Mamba Show.
Welcome, y'all. Welcome. Thanks for subscribing and tapping in as usual on a weekly basis. We're going to get right to it and just check in with my mans. How was your weekend? What you get up to?
Oh, man. I ain't do much. My son, he got a baseball team he on, and I went to the game. I thought it was like his basketball game, so it's gonna be over, fairly quick. Hour.
Oh no, not baseball.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
well, nigga, if you knew, why you didn't tell me? Because like seriously, I was like, damn, I thought we got there like at 4:30. The game was over like at 8, and I was like,
yeah,
I ain't never come to these again. But I figured it out. I know what I'm gonna do. So what I'm gonna do is go, leave, come back. I'm gonna leave, come back for the end.
Yeah, it's actually not a bad idea. Some people actually choose to either be there for the first half or the second half of it. It's rare that people be there for the whole thing or whatever. It's just
it
too
won't
much.
be me no more.
Too much of the same over and over and over again, and not
God.
enough.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But that boy can crack
But he
that
did,
ball though.
Yeah, he did right. Okay.
Oh
good,
yeah, he can crack that ball.
Yeah. Well, my weekend. Let's
you
see.
didn't even wait for me to ask you. You couldn't wait to tell us
I'm
about your
just
weekend.
jump into my shit.
Eager.
Well, no, because it's a it makes me proud that our team, the people that we surround ourselves with, the people who, whether business or whatever, are all good fucking people. You know what I mean? So one of the homeboys was locked up, and we all got together. We decided, fuck that, let's get him out. So we did, and he came out pretty damn fast after we put our little funds and stuff together. And I'm like, you know what better thing because he been in there for about a year, and I'm like,
shit,
right, for real.
Yeah. So get a little freedom, huh?
Yeah. And you know what the bomb thing is that it was right. I talked to him about that afterwards. I'm like, I said, I'm gonna feed you, but the other part I
can't do nothing for you, man.
I can't do nothing for you. I can get some stuff going for you, but I can't.
But no, that's some kites, sending them kites. You know what I mean? Yeah. You gotta set something up. It's hard for you.
I told him we gonna plug with you and see what's see what we can get.
I don't know what I could do. I don't know what I could do.
Nah, but it was good though, because everybody ate good. Everybody's outside. He felt good. Everybody also expressed their love and their value for him and shit like that. And that's one thing that I think, just in terms of our community or whatnot, is has to be more. It can't just be like free my mans and shit, and your mans is a piece of shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you free my mans who's a valuable contributor to our society and to our people and so on and so forth. And not only that, we're gonna show you, and we're gonna circle around him and show him love and show him that he got value. And that's what folks did, man. Folks did. Plus, I cooked my ass off, and I'm always platinum when I'm doing that. So.
Yeah. That's right.
But right. So today we get into some nitty and some gritty.
What's nitty gritty?
Nitty gritty is we hitting into some relationship type conversation.
Oh, okay.
The nitty and some gritty.
Okay, copy.
And for the most part, I think you and I somewhat try to avoid it to a degree, but relationships in this capacity is a conversational piece anyway. It happens. So it ain't been talked about.
Wait a minute,
from our dynamic.
hold on. And I just want to say, Please forgive me if I offend anyone.
He put a disclaimer out.
No,
This episode gonna get some hits then.
What I
Hell
mean
no.
to say, what I mean to say is, this ain't gonna turn into one of them shows, because I be seeing them, when I be scrolling. You just bashing women,
Nah,
women. We ain't on that
I don't
shit.
fuck around like that.
Okay, just making sure your morals is still good and straight.
My morals is always
All right.
about the community. It's always about the black woman.
I
It's
love me
always
some
about
women,
the black
so
man.
we ain't doing none of that.
So I got a question in regards to so we talking about relationships.
Okay.
And it seems to be something that's a taboo that ain't spoken about enough within our community. One of those things is specifically is reared its head in headlines, and it's a few individuals. I'll just name one right now. Shannon Sharpe. Right, Shannon Sharpe is being sued. I forgot how much it was. 50 million, 10 million. It's a number of millions, but he's being sued by this young lady to which they had a sexual relationship with.
May I interject that America gets paid a whole bunch of money for motherfuckers just being nosy, just like you doing right now, just nosy motherfucker.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, if you wouldn't put it on Front Street, I wouldn't be fucking nosy. So it ain't like I'm digging for it.
All right.
But anyway, so this young lady, at the time of their intro, whatever, she was actually 19. Shannon Sharpe is, I'm pretty sure, nowhere near 19. And everybody's frustrating over it for a number of reasons. One's for the 19, two because she white. So again, it calls into question.
Wait. I got a few questions. So are you saying 19 when they were whatever versus he was dealing with her before she turned 19?
He could have. Ain't no telling. That's speculation.
But that's not the story.
No, that's speculation.
The story is just simply Shannon Sharpe messing with a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
I got another question.
Mm-hmm.
Is that illegal?
It actually is not. It's not.
I got one more question.
Mm-hmm.
So why the fuck is it your business?
So here's the thing. It's been in question. It's kind of one of those unspoken of things because there's another individual. Let's say, what's her name is Tracy Ellis Ross. Tracy Ellis Ross only dates younger men, right? And then
wait. Who is Tracy Ellis Ross?
Tracy Ellis Ross, girlfriends.
Got it. Copy.
Light skin.
Yep.
And then also Nia Long said on a podcast or something like that. She's giggling about it, like, yeah, ha ha ha. I remember in high school dating a man. He was 30, but he treated me right. He knew that the shit that they be saying and shit. But he treated me right, right? So I'm like, this type of shit has been going on for fucking decades.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it such a uproar right now?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it an uproar? Period.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because somebody's suing and trying to get some bread for it, or what is it? What's the issue?
Sorry, I maybe neglected to listen to who getting sued again.
Shannon Sharpe
by the white girl.
Yep. But
enough said.
So you can blame it on.
I mean, I ain't. You take your own.
Sounds like you're blaming it.
I'm not blaming it on nothing. I'm simply saying that is not like shocking news.
So you're saying a sister wouldn't do that?
Why you keep saying what I'm saying? Nigga,
I'm asking you. That's what I'm asking you.
What are you asking?
So are you saying a sister wouldn't do that?
I'm saying, how the fuck would I know?
Okay, got no response.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You know what leads a very interesting conversation is, you remember back in the days, back in the 90s, younger or our age girls always dated older men.
Slow it down. I got a response. Sharpe denies all allegations and calls the lawsuit a shakedown attempt. His lawyer, Lanny J. Davis, stated relationships was consensual and the lawsuit is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations. Also, Sharpe offered to settle the case
$10 million.
for $10 million.
Yep. Huh? I can't hear you.
Dollars.
I can't hear you.
But offered.
I can't hear you.
Rejected.
$10 million settlement.
And the lawsuit proceeded.
I ain't
Nigga,
do
why
no
you
wrong.
send me this shit?
I ain't do no wrong.
You set me up.
But here's $10 million. I ain't do nothing wrong though.
No, maybe he's smart enough to understand the predicament that he's in.
$10 million worth?
Maybe he's smart enough to understand the predicament he is in.
$10 million is life.
I mean,
changing for generations of people.
A wise man can foresee. So he might have already had that $10 million put up, ready for the go, ready.
He's like, you know what? Just in case, I'm gonna fuck up eventually.
But listen, man, this might go wrong.
That's
you know,
bullshit.
I mean, because sometimes let's be real honest. Sometimes you as a man, you look at a woman in a sexual manner. However, let's pause on that for 1 second.
Oh,
Maybe
shit.
I got something juicy to.
I forgot about the videos.
to rebuttal.
He got video and audio of him talking and being reckless.
Oh, is this what it says?
Reckless. Oh my goodness. But anyway.
Okay, so let me just finish then.
This is you backing Shannon, right?
Nigga, I ain't backing nobody.
It sounds like you backing Shannon.
Don't be placing shit on me. I was just simply trying to understand this scenario. But
yeah, he ain't got no. That's because he was backing him at first. Now he's like, "Damn, nigga, you done fucked up so much. I can't even have your back,
this
man."
This nigga done fucked up, Jack. God damn.
Hell no.
Ass is grass.
So you don't think your own personal opinion?
Okay.
You don't think there's a problem with someone who's 56 messing with a 19-year-old?
Say again.
Everybody else in this motherfucker just heard me, but I gotta repeat.
I need to ponder.
This nigga want his own 20-year-olds. That's what it is. Are you saying that it is perfectly okay, whatever? It's reasonable. It's okay. It's morally thumbs up for someone who was in their 50s to have a sexual relationship with someone who is still who's 18 or above, but not even 21 yet.
I'm gonna tell you the story of the crane and the cat.
This sounds like a workaround. I ain't ready for no motherfucking workaround. Just answer the goddamn question,
Listen,
yes or
man,
no.
Listen, man. The only thing that I know for sure, right, for a fact, is that I don't know shit. And so, a whole bunch of this ain't my business. And I don't even like thinking about it because it hurt my brain.
Well, the funny part is I wouldn't ask about everybody else's business. I just asked a personal question with you. Would you or would you not? It's just you.
I mean, okay, you would have to put it in context.
There's no context. The age is the context.
It is. It's two different scenarios that I can see.
Tell me the scenarios.
And I'll pop you so hard that you'll put your head on that table.
So you would.
I'm finna pop you. So here's the deal.
This is an undisclosed yes.
Here's the deal. Two different scenarios. How old is your baby girl?
20.
She bring a nigga home that's 56. You'll be ready to ring his nigga. You'll be ready to just pop his whole.
What does
head
that
off.
got to do with?
That means you hate
the
him.
question that I asked.
I'm answering. That's one feeling. That's one feeling, right? Of you know, how do my morals and my values of a 19-year-old and a 56.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
I'm old enough.
How old are you?
I'm old enough.
Old enough. Old enough nigga ain't got no problem with a 19-year-old doing a strip tease on him.
Who says they don't? Who says they don't? You a lie.
Okay.
So-
So therefore, in one sense, you may like it. In another sense, you may hate it. So it's just about context.
You just
No,
still
we're
went
not
all
we're not,
around
we're
the
not,
mulberry bush.
I'm simply
and
saying.
still didn't answer.
I'm simply saying.
You giving context of approval. I get
No,
it.
no, no, no. What I'm trying to explain is everybody has their opinion of something, and your opinion is not greater than my opinion. It's just different opinions. So one way or another, that shit don't matter. It ain't my baby girl, so I don't give a fuck.
Okay. So that's a non-answer answer. We all got to take his drink afterward because it was bullshit.
I think I gave you a great
Fucking
answer.
bullshit.
I
But
think, I think my answer cannot be disputed.
Since you don't want to jump on that particular question, let's introduce our guest. We have a phenomenal guest,
You sound like you mad.
and
You mad?
and I don't really.
Huh?
Who?
Oh,
So we're not doing the guest.
How about you? Oh, now we're not doing the guest.
I mean,
we're not doing the
I'm
guest.
just trying to keep the ball rolling.
What about you?
What's the
How
question?
do you feel? You know the question. It was your question, Nick.
I forgot. I'm old.
Me too.
You know, I'm
Okay, well, we
introduce
going
some person.
to the lady. This nigga don't want to answer his own question.
All right, so our guest up here, her name is Anaya. Anaya, damn it!
Wow.
Knew it.
And she told him before she
Told me
started.
a couple times too. That's my apologies to you and everybody out
We
there.
starting off relationship with respect, huh?
So,
There is none.
so I'm Anaya is a multi-talented artist, an actress, content creator, and fashion lover. She shares her world through beauty, hair, style, and lifestyle content on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, also on Facebook. Whether she's behind the camera or styling the perfect look, Anaya is all about inspiring confidence and creating in everything she does. So let's welcome to the stage, Miss Anaya.
Hey, Anaya, how's it going?
Thank you for coming. We already shook hands over there, and I ain't crossing across the damn table. It's weird. So we ain't gonna jump on that. That question was specifically for him, right? But in the scenario itself, what are your thoughts from your perspective, in your opinion, you feel about that particular? How about this? Not that particular situation, but
Wait
just
a
the
minute,
age,
slow it down,
age gap
slow it
element.
down. He already got your name wrong.
The age gap
can
element.
You come on? Can you give us a little bit about you?
Oh yeah,
what you
you're
do?
right.
How are you?
I just
do a
jumped
little
into
bit of that.
assholism.
Let's not play games.
I'm
Let's not
sorry.
play
I'm
games.
sorry.
How are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm all right, love. What about you?
Talk to us about yourself.
I am an actress, an influencer, a hairstylist. I do a lot of different.
You got your own shop?
No, I don't. Not yet.
Okay. You working on your own shop?
Eventually, I'm
Bet.
working on it.
Okay. Okay. Respect. Now can we get into the formalities?
Ask the way, sir. Ask the way.
So we ain't gonna specifically talk about Shannon Sharpe, right? But let's point out relationships of that magnitude, where there's a significant age difference. I mean, significant. And by the way, what is significant to you?
Years over. I don't know because it depends on how old they are. Because if they're like you guys were talking about 19 and stuff and dating a 50-year-old, no, you guys mentally are in a different world. You guys a 19-year-old hasn't even gotten their foot wet yet, and the 50-year-old knows a lot about life. My question is, what does a 50-year-old, what is he doing or she doing talking to a 19-year-old?
Sex.
Okay. But why not have sex with a woman of their age? Because a 19-year-old, they don't know
They're more
life.
fertile.
They're more what?
Fertile.
So he wants more kids? then he need to be up.
So this is how it really goes, right?
Mhm.
A woman seeks security. A man seeks kids. You know, and not necessarily kids, right? But even the act of sex is the act of making kids. So either way you look at it, that is a goal of a man, right? Back back in the days, our job was to populate. That's what we were supposed to do. We were supposed to do our job. We were supposed to populate. And at that time, no one really had a problem with it. Now we got to social norms, and all of a sudden I got to be straight up and down. Well, I was supposed to populate, and so a man, he smells out population.
It spells out population.
I mean that's about right. You know what I mean? I mean, unless you can,
Rebuttal anything different.
I think now in today's world, I believe that people are seeing it as more so predatory because I'm not going to say all men that are 50 are walking around here being a predator, but a lot of them are known for preying on the young ones because they don't know nothing. It's the reason why they go for the younger age because they can't go for somebody that's close to their age because she's going to be like, I know what you about. No, it ain't going.
Wait a minute. The word predator has to precede some type of ill intention, right? So what you're saying is that Shannon Sharpe had some ill intention for this 19-year-old young lady.
I didn't say anything about Shannon Sharpe. I'm talking about.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
She said in general, and we specifically said we ain't talking about that incident.
Retract. X that one. Shit. Because now I can't use this nigga as an example. Okay, well, say it one more time, and I'll find something to argue to.
Right.
I said it.
I forgot it.
Oh.
So okay, here's this nigga got thrown off tilt. So we'll say, let's say 100, 200, 300 years ago, right? If we're even longer. The term predatory or being predatorial in this particular context didn't exist. It was life. It just the norm. And it wasn't until I want to say less than 100 years ago where it actually became a problem. There's so many, you want to say artists, what actors, whatever, that have been in the same situation, and everybody just draws just kind of fades it away or whatever. But all of a sudden, it's this this big problem on both ends, men, women, not just in general, but men and women, just across the board. Why do you think that's such an issue now as compared to then? And why is it predatorial when it wasn't? Do you think?
I feel like where people's minds were, I don't think they were thinking like how we evolve yearly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like, well, I know, not feel, I know for a fact that back then they weren't thinking like that. Like that was just normal. That was the tradition. But now as we're moving out of that tradition and starting to see a lot of people, women and men, because women can be predators as well. They see like, oh, this person lack knowledge or this person lacks certain stuff that I'm advanced with, and they've been doing that for centuries. Though we're just now calling it out. I feel like we're just now evolving to know that that's not okay.
But for centuries, right, compared to now, we didn't have any issues that we do now, and I'm talking about across the board,
Right.
with birth rate, right? So all of a sudden, there's a huge issue with birth rate on everybody's spectrum. Meaning, black young kids are deciding they don't want children, and so on and so forth. So the birth rate aspect is kind of declining. However, back then, not a problem. It was consistent, fruitful, actually. So there was some benefit somewhere.
There was. I can say for a fact though, I don't think I don't, and I just say this because when I looked at the statistics, I think they're more so worried about with the whole birth rates. They're more so worried about white kids, white babies, because if you look at the population, we're doing pretty good still.
That is true.
Asian, Mexican, all of them. They're the only ones, and that's why they're cracking down. I'm not gonna go too deep in that, but they cracking down.
Well, I mean, all across the board, birth rates have decreased. Period.
Right.
I'm not saying that we're having such a problem as our counterparts, anything like that.
Right.
But just across the board, birth rates are lower than they've ever been.
True.
So evidently, some kind of characteristic and/or culture before ignited that or celebrated that, but now it's not being celebrated.
I think one is what like the economy is one. A
Mm.
lot of people are struggling and they don't want to bring a kid into it. A lot of people were raised to even raise their siblings. Some of them just like, I don't want to deal with that. Certain traumas, those things are an aspect as well. I also feel like a lot of people are just now like putting their career first, putting themselves first, and then later possibly figure out kids later on.
Mm.
I got a question.
Mhm.
So, at one point in your life, you grew into womanhood or became a woman. At that point, that moment that you became a woman, did you hold on to any boundaries or limitations or um um supposed to do this type of language, or did you become a woman and seek what you needed to be a woman?
So I'm just making sure I understand your question. You're asking me like, did I become a woman or was I taught? Is that what you're?
Nope.
Okay.
For men,
Okay.
right. There's just a point where we know we're a man.
Right.
There's a point where we know that the responsibilities is ours.
Mhm.
What we have to do to take care of, whether of is your car, your kid, whatever that is. At what point, or when that point happened with you, I'm asking, did you still hold on to limitations, or did you let them go at that
The
point? Okay.
limitations is boundaries, right? Or
Limitations
what am I not
is
gonna?
is what. So here's a limitation. When you're 13 to what's the legal age of drinking? 21,
Mhm.
right? Someone telling you can't drink.
Oh, I ain't follow that.
Huh?
I did not follow that.
You didn't, right?
Mm-mm.
'Cause at what point wasn't nobody gonna tell you couldn't drink?
Yeah, I think
Even though there was a certain age, somebody say you got to be 21 to do something. There was something that was a rule that was put in place to say to keep you safeguarded, to keep your mind from being taken advantage of, and you say, I choose to do something different.
Mhm. I believe I was like teenage when I was just rebellious. Like, no one say anything.
Do you think that there is other women that are rebellious as far as relationships?
Yeah.
So then it is possible that the woman can choose the older man versus the older man being a predator to the younger woman.
Yep.
All right.
Sometimes,
so we still
yes.
talking about balance here, right?
Yes.
So we ain't really talking
Sometimes.
about men who date younger women are just predators, right?
Yeah. I stated previously. I said women can be predators too as well.
I'm not saying that women can be predators. I'm saying that there's a balance in which there is a woman choosing, not her being a predator, but her choosing the older man.
Correct. Yes.
And that's perfectly okay.
I'm against it, but they're gonna do what they want to do.
You're changing. You're on both sides of the fence here now. Like, come on
like,
now. How are you against it when you're for it?
Because the reason why I'm against it because I was younger at one point and dating older men.
You understand it?
Yeah. So I'm like, where I'm at now mentally, I'm like, you had no business entertaining these older men. You had no business talking to older men. And now that I've gotten older, I'm just like, it's just certain things I shouldn't have done or was doing at 19 and 20.
So
no.
So even with that though,
right?
And we talk about 100 years ago or whatever the case, right? this has been a constant in the thought process, just in general, because I hear it all the time. I've heard it all the time. Oh, when I was younger, I dated a high school or a college dude or whatever the case may be, because the guys who are my age are too immature, right? Which, in fact, women do mature faster than men, right? So if that's a dynamic and the guys who's the same age as you can't get to play, how does the dynamic set itself? You know what I'm saying? How can one be wrong but want the other be like? It's just a part of life and nature. That's just how it is.
It can't. It's impossible.
I'm just thinking, as the oldest, like at my age, I wouldn't date a 19-year-old or an 18-year-old. I wouldn't.
You're talking about situational and your opinion too, because you're really not talking about facts, because we just proved that.
Yeah,
you,
it
You
is.
agree but disagree with the same exact premise.
I do. I agree and disagree with certain certain stuff.
Right, exactly. But so that means that it has to be your opinion, because it can't be fact if you both agree and disagree.
Aren't
right?
we talking about opinions though? Like what I
We
think?
are. Ooh.
But you
Okay.
said facts earlier though, so that's
Yeah.
that's
She
the only
did.
reason.
She did.
That's the only
She
reason why we
did.
said it, because
Yeah.
you said a key word. It was like, oh, don't say that. I was like, don't say that. But you said facts, and I was like, shit. Let's not say facts. It's still opinion, especially if you still borderline both this way, both that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when I say a fact, that means whatever I was talking. I forgot what fact. I know I said a fact though. You're right.
Predatory. You was going into predatory.
That was a fact.
Huh? What? That was the fact that you couldn't take a strong opinion on. You was on both sides of that same argument.
It's a fact because I threw out a fact, but then I also throw out
What was
my
the fact?
opinion that men do or women do date, and they're predatory sometimes towards certain younger ones because they want certain things, like you stated
men.
previous.
Men.
Some women and men,
Okay, fine.
because it's both.
Then I won't argue that. That's done.
We can dig that.
So, then in that case, if this situation can be both true and not true, I think the premise still remains that
What's the big deal?
what if it can happen on both sides of the fence, and it does happen, and it has happened from the beginning of time, why is this front page news right now?
I think it's a problem because people get caught.
Because they're ashamed.
They get caught and they're ashamed of it.
Instead of just coming out and being I got a 21-year-old, this is what it is.
I mean, some do come out like that, and they don't care.
Most don't, though, which is why it's still a taboo thing. No matter if you're a teacher, right, who is at a high school, and you're a 30-plus teacher, and you end up dating a 17-year-old football boy or whatever, or if you are a young lady who's about to go to college, and you happen to go to a college visit, and you're dating a senior there, it's still the same.
Or
fact.
you're 60 and you find a 40-year-old. You know what I mean? Either way you look at it, it's the same thing.
60 with a 40-year-old?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
what? That's what?
That's young.
What?
60,
okay,
40?
so 40, 60 and 40?
40 is a problem?
It's not. That's why I'm like,
Oh,
right.
okay.
So that's what I'm saying. So if you apply that same rule to younger, why can't you apply it to older?
younger because, as I stated previously, they haven't gotten their foot wet, and I think a lot of people are like, they're
That's opinion.
right. But that's everybody's throwing out of an opinion, though.
But what I'm saying is, you saying that they didn't get their foot wet. What I'm saying is, it's possible that a 19-year-old has gotten their foot wet. Like, they could have been out on the streets since they was 15-year-old, learning how to live and build and be a person, and had to learn things the hard way. And by the time they got some Shannon Sharpe, I didn't mean it.
Some older nigga juice.
Some old nigga. They have become secure, and that was a blessing out of the sky for them.
I would say a 19-year-old, and what you say? You said what age again?
I can't say it because you know why I can't say it.
50-year-old.
Okay, 50. a 50-year-old, his frontal lobe or her frontal lobe has developed. A 19-year-old's frontal lobe hasn't even developed yet. They're not.
That don't mean that I don't know what I want.
Right. Right. I feel like everybody knows what they want at that age. They do. They know what they want. However, is it good for them?
Yeah, is that liquor good for you at that age?
No, it's not.
Exactly, right? So either way you look at it, you got to deal with the choices, your choices, no
Yes.
matter what. But still, when you're ready to make that choice, you're going to make that choice.
So I circle back to what people are really focused on is they're not ready to even step in that path yet. That's why I'm saying, like, when they say, like, your feet hasn't gotten wet, you haven't experienced life. You don't know much about life yet.
But they just experienced being with a 50-year-old.
Yeah, and
Life is experiences.
true. But they don't have to experience that all the time. If they actually listen to their elders, they really don't. Because I wish I would have listened to my elder. My father would tell me, no, you shouldn't be talking to this person. I'm still going. So I'm doing what I want to do. However, I could have saved myself a lot of headache if I would have listened.
That's wisdom.
Let's
You only get with experiences.
True.
So without dating that 50-year-old man, you know that, I'm going to get something closer to my age because I like their swag a little bit better.
Sometimes you don't have to experience if you actually listen. Like certain stuff
How
in life
often
I
does
haven't
that happen?
experienced it, and I just heard stories and be like,
vicariously. So yeah.
cross out.
Yeah, but then some things you had to experience
Right.
directly.
True. I mean, it really depends on the person.
So let's go a little bit more into context outside of this particular, but we're still talking about relationships, right? So one question that I got is in regards to being a single woman. Not saying that you are, but being a single woman, having to navigate today's dating field, and yet having enough time or whatever to balance your job or your career or whatever the case may be. How is it when you're juggling all that? How is it just in general with women juggling all that to focus and find, quote unquote, the right man?
I feel like it's hard to juggle, be busy, and then also dating as well, because sometimes you'll go days without talking to that person. And so I do believe that it's a little challenging. Depending on, like, for me personally, it's really challenging because I'm in an industry where I'm just like this. And then by the time I sit down, I didn't text this person back in how many days? Like, ooh. So it's challenging. I would.
you said right person though. So who is the right person?
What's your checklist? Who's the right person?
I go off of like how they do what they do. That's a good question.
You don't know that because you don't return their texts.
I
It could have been the right person. Just waiting.
But I'm not focused on dating right now though either. I'm focusing on
talking
my
about
career.
in general. We're talking about in general.
So, but I don't know what the general is because I don't know how somebody is thinking or what's the right person for somebody because everybody dates differently. I can't say you can date a certain way because me and you are probably not on the same road. I can't tell you how to date either because we're probably not on the same road. Everybody has a different way of dating and how they feel is the right person. Everybody was brought up differently, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, but the objective is to quote unquote find a mate, right? Find somebody that works for you. How are you finding that and also managing everything else? Okay.
What's the parameters? What are you looking for? What's going to be the first thing to alert you to be interested in a person, even if you ain't trying to?
I would say how they talk to people, how they treat people. That would be like, oh wow.
So then you have to be like in the same social circles or something to
I have to see them.
see
physically.
them interact.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so kindness
Yep.
is
Kind.
one of your things
How they
that.
treat people.
Okay,
How they treat
okay,
people around them.
okay, and,
Um,
and what else?
that I would say how they um how they take care of themselves as well.
E- Elaborate.
So that being they're taking care of their mental health. They're going to therapy.
You
Hold on,
hold
slow
on. You
down.
gotta, yeah,
What?
I mean, I want you to continue down your list.
That's taking care of yourself. What do you mean?
But why is therapy or why are you so specific with therapy as a form of taking care of yourself? So I, I'm asking, if a person was taking care of themselves other than going to therapy, would you still consider that taking care of yourself?
I mean, yeah, there's different routes of taking care. That's just one thing that I threw out. I didn't even get to the other ones, but therapy, because a lot of people go through trauma and a lot of people internalize it and project it to other people a lot. So going to therapy is sorting those things out because really you have to heal your traumas before you even start dating other people in order to find the one, like y'all said, the one.
Okay.
So most people
So
out here dating
Wh-
when they haven't even entered the circle to where they've taken care of themselves first.
I think so.
You feel like you're part of one of those
Am I in that?
that
Ask
bracket?
that question again.
Are you in that bracket?
Of not taking care of myself?
Yeah.
I'm taking care of myself. That's why
Or
I'm out of that
being
bracket.
ready enough? Ready
I'm
enough?
not ready.
Okay, gotcha.
so you said so first they have to be taking care of their mental, right?
Hmm.
Or is that second? Mental is second, and what was
I don't
first?
know
How
if
they treat people.
how
So
they
so kindness is first.
how they
Their
treat.
mental ability is second. Is there a third?
There's a third.
Or is there anything else?
I would say their relationship with the Most High.
You know,
What if they're an
Yeah,
atheist?
no.
I feel like you're trying to spin me, and
Why am I
when
spinning?
people come
I'm
on here and try to
serious.
spin me, I just have to ask some
They
questions.
have to have a relationship with the Most High. I don't. I'm not really big on like, oh, you have to be this or that. Like, I'm not one of those like you got to be Muslim or you got to be Christian. You have to have a relationship with the Most High.
So you're saying
Most definitely you do.
physically, that's not the first thing that attracts you to a person?
You know what? No, not no
How
more.
do you connect? I mean, as far as people connecting, um, um, how they look is an important part, and that's what
That's right.
initially attracts you to who that person is, and even being interested in learning who that person is, if they got a relationship with the Most High, if they're kind, how they treat people, if they're treating themselves right. You only
True.
get there, and first you got to get past the physical.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, let's just be real.
I just said I said true
Yeah.
when you was talking about it.
Okay, because that's not what you said to me. You told
Yeah,
me a whole bunch of
but
inner things that
it
you can't
does.
get to until you first get past the physical.
Well, if you talking about physical, of course, like handsome. But you know what? I noticed even in the dating world, you could be handsome. You can look so good on the outside, so good, and be crappy as heck on the inside.
Absolutely. But what is looking good?
I don't trimmed up. The hair looked nice. They dress nice.
How can I dress nice if I don't got no money?
People still can dress nice
You sure?
without having a lot of money. Yes.
You sure keep myself trimmed up and keep myself dressed nice without having no money? I beg to
With,
differ.
without having money, they have some money.
Okay.
Nobody's
so let's
just
not play
going
games
out.
then.
I literally said it. Are you actively listening?
You said with
Okay.
no. You said with no money is what you said. I am actively listening
When
to
you're
you.
saying not having money, are you saying like just broke $0 in the bank? Is that what you're talking about?
You said.
No, I'm asking. You said.
I'm only asking. I'm only asking
I'm
you
just
questions.
making sure I got clarification. though.
Okay.
Okay.
It sounds like she asking back.
Okay. Right. Asking back what I asked.
I said they don't have to have money, but what is not having money? Because somebody cannot have money, as in they don't have to be big balling, but they still have some type of money.
So tell me the difference.
What's the difference between balling
between money and big balling? What's
what they say now?
What's the difference?
Broke.
The difference is how they move, how they live their life. One person is on a budget, and the other one is they're on a budget, but they're not really on a budget. If that makes sense. Like everybody has a budget. Well, I would think a rich person would have a budget in order to stay rich. However, they don't have to worry about, they can go out to eat and spend the bill like that. But with someone that doesn't have a lot of money, they have to think and budget a certain way, move differently. But they can still look nice.
I have a question.
I don't get that.
Do you think today that in general, and I'm specifically females, have a lot more unrealistic expectations when it comes to dating? And do you think that gets in the way as far as them finding that one?
Yeah.
So you think as compared to 10, 20 years ago, it's more unrealistic or just unrealistic, just in general?
It's more unrealistic because some of them think that a 20-year-old should be a millionaire by now, and that's not how it goes. Not in your 20s.
Yeah.
Unless you hit a lotto or something, like, or unless you got lucky or blessed with certain stuff, yeah.
So it's fair to say that they ain't looking for nobody in their 20s.
Well, I don't know what they're looking for.
If they are in their 20s.
I'm just saying, like, right. I see girls be like, oh, he don't have this and have that. But I'm looking at his age. He's 20, 21. Of course he's not going to have that.
So that means 20, 21-year-olds is assed out. They can't date. They can't get nothing.
No,
but they go get passed over because they are considered not having nothing.
That's pretty much what it sounds like in today's dating. If you're 20, 21, you assed out. You get no luck because the expectation is that you're supposed to have a 6-figure income, supposed to be 6 feet. What are all the check boxes? 6 feet tall, a bunch of stuff like this that is unrealistic to the average black man at that.
May I give you an opinion? I think that a perfect match is when one of the people have dreams and goals. You know, maybe stuff that they thought about since they've been kids. I want to be this. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be whatever. And then they meet someone whose energy allows them to reach the moon. And together them to rise together as partners. You know what I mean? That is a relationship. Not you gotta have this before we date. Huh? Who are you? Who even say that we gonna be a good match at the beginning? We don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? So why am I expected to have something to you when I don't even know if I want to date you? It's just an assumption of what I supposed to have when you ain't even interested in even knowing who I am because you talking about what I got. How did I get it? Who am I?
How do I get it? Help me get it.
What do I do?
Therein lies that.
Am I a person?
Even that 50-50
What
conversation.
if I'm a vampire? Do you know? Do you care? Like y'all be. I ain't talking about you, love.
I know what you. I'm not offensive. I'm not offensive. Okay. I don't take none of that.
Like I was saying, there lies in that 50-50 conversation. I think the unrealistic conversation is it's about money. But the 50-50 conversation, when you talk to men, when we talk about 50-50, it's about emotional contact. It's about emotional intelligence. It's about supporting one another when things get raw and shit like that. That's the conversation that men are having when it comes to 50-50. But the bottom lining on the other half of it goes 50-50. It's always about a bill or some shit like that. when in real relationships, that's what it is. And matter of fact, it's not 50-50 all the goddamn time. You know, it's hey, I'm about 80 today because I'm up, I'm feeling great. You feeling down? Don't worry, I'll carry the team. You know, that's literally what most men feel in regards to 50-50 is I'm going to support you with everything that I have. And if we talking bottom line money, sure, it is what it is. Mine is yours is mine, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that is what's being missed. There's a different conversation that's going on just altogether, just in relationships, just in general. And it all boils down to just some unrealistic. Where we at? You got a question you ain't gonna ask? I figured because his face looks stupid.
I'm getting under his skin. Let me just ease up a bit, you know. I can feel that.
So my last question, since he's chicken shit to ask it. What was it? Do you feel, your opinion, how and why do women pick the wrong man?
Women or me? Because you said, "Do I feel?" So I just want to make sure I'm deeply understanding your question.
We'll say you because we're talking about your opinion and we don't want you speaking on all women.
I was
So
about
we'll
to say
just
because
say
I
you.
can't.
Right.
I would say my problem was being unrealistic with what he
Okay.
said.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my biggest one is being unrealistic or seeing potential when it should just.
What the fuck is potential? How do a person look at somebody and say you got potential? You can do it or you can't. What's happening?
You got it or you
But
don't.
I'm saying that's what my problem was. So I definitely believe that it was just unrealistic. That goes with unrealistic.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And quit trying to find you've had some of the same why you talking
I was
shit?
waiting on the time your sucker for love ass jump on.
I've had the same similar as well with putting these expectations on someone else and being like, yeah, they can measure up to it and being let down. Don't try to act
I mean,
sideways.
I do believe that that's relationships that
yes, all
you,
in general.
Yeah, you want something, you see something, you stick around hoping something, and then when you have to move on, you got to move on.
Right.
See,
You
that's
know?
when delusions came in because I was being delusional. I was
And not
being
move
like,
along.
no, I'm like, oh, this gonna change. No.
Yeah.
Months later still ain't changed. So yeah, it's unrealistic.
Yeah,
It's
and
hey.
even some of us think we're so clever, so intelligent, so brilliant enough to where, of course, everyone else sees the brilliance. You should too. So you should adapt to that brilliance of me seeing you in this capacity or whatever. But the realistic factor is they are who they are, and they told you who they were from Jump Street.
They were very honest, whether I wanted to accept it or not.
Yep. And that's the hardest. But you know, most of us has passed over somebody who fit better, but they was missing something.
Right. That part.
It was a bit.
How
that
true
they
is
was
that
missing.
part?
Yeah, you know, like nah, you ain't got it. And yet, you know, maybe she had it.
Yep. It's I think that's what happens to a lot of people is because their objective is this thought process of what their perfection is, and if they can't immediately get it, they on this end try to build somebody to it or whatever, and then there's somebody tapping you on the shoulder like, hey, you know I'm here too, and you're like, yeah, but friend zone or yeah, but you know whatever the case, we knock off people that don't fit the bottom line objective that we're looking for in whatever capacity without just sitting down and realizing they could be right in front of your goddamn face. Deep dope.
Expectations with dating them?
What were your expectations?
When I was dating them, I just thought that they were going to be ready to marry and they were ready to
like right away?
No.
Oh.
I'm talking about like working up to it type thing.
Like you was delusional to the motherfucker.
No. And then we talked we talked about it and I felt like I'm like, oh, they have potential, like they give certain values that I really like, but instead of actually listening to them, because they're like, it's kind of like a 50, like I can probably do it, I could probably not. And I was still like, oh, well, I'm going with that 50 that you threw out because I believe that can be you type of thing. But they kind of already said it. Not kind of, they did. They said it.
Do you know what, this is just me asking, this is just out of my mind. Do you know what it looks like when a man wants you and only you? Do you know what it looks like, what it sounds like, what the actions look like, all of that?
Yeah.
What does it look
What
like?
does it look like? You tell me.
They're focused on you in the relationship. It's communication there. There's time, quality time. Oh, I thought y'all about to look out,
Stop having a flinch, man. What's wrong with you, man? Got her flinching and shit on here.
Oh my God! I'm not abusing. I'm just
No, I don't think that. I'm just like, dang, I got sidetracked. Consistent. I think that's all. I think that's, yeah.
So, yes, right. That's exactly what it looks like with a man. A lot of men when they end up getting married and they find they won, right?
Wait. I don't think that's what it looked like.
What
I want to know what it looked like when all the parameters ain't up to your expectations. So
You got
Hold on, I
80%.
asked you to talk for
You
me.
got 80%. You ain't got all 100. That's all he about to say.
I'm finna hit Thailand for 2 weeks while you at the crib. How you feel?
Like, I was about to say,
you
'cause
sure? You sure it's so? You sure?
He finna hit Dominican Republic.
Okay, whatever you got the most insecurities about.
But like, I don't, because I even do it. So what can I say? Like,
I'm finna go to 3 stripper parties in a row. How
why
do you feel
need
about
to go
me?
to the strip club? I just need to ask. I need to ask, like, where's your head at? But I just think
I want to know. I want to know. Do I go?
Do you go to the strip
Or
club?
did I tell you that they're happening?
You told me it's happening. You just
Did I go?
I don't know. Did you?
Right? Because love says, oh yeah, he ain't gonna go. He ain't gonna go because he know how I feel about it deeply. I ain't even have to ever even say that he could or he couldn't. We never had that conversation. He's going to go on the strength of having conversation and communication with me.
But usually when they communicate.
Usually what? See, what y'all problem is y'all don't trust that we know these things.
Y'all do know, but I don't know. I've never been tested. Oh, I'm going to the strip. I've never been, so I can't. I don't know.
But what I'm saying to you, what I'm asking is, those situations, those times where your most insecurities pop out at you, do you still know that I love you? You sure? Because this is your most times now. This is your weakest times, the times that you just know, oh, I don't know if this nigga is doing what he's supposed to be doing.
If it's something going on, it's getting exposed regardless.
No, that sounds like a threat.
No, it's not a threat.
That ain't sound like love. That ain't sound like, you know what? I fuck with you. That ain't sound like that. That ain't sound like I fuck with you. That sound like what comes to light comes to the dark or whatever.
It does, but anything. But I'm like, what? I can't really answer that because.
That's the question, though.
Because you want a yes or a no, and I'm like...
No. I want you to dig in your soul and talk to all the women in the world and let them know that you want to have to trust. You just going to have to do it.
Well, definitely. If without trust...
Well, you going to have to know that I love you, period. Because I ain't going to say it all the time.
What's love got to do with it?
I love... that means that I'm going to respect you as my goddess.
You can love somebody and still do them wrong, though.
But I can love somebody and still do them right.
That too. But I'm just saying, like, what the trust, you got me with the trust. But the love is like, okay, what's love got to do with it?
What do you mean? What's love?
What's love got to do with
love
anything?
Love is the protagonist, but everything after.
But, okay, well, I'm just like not going back and forth with that.
Until I love you, I can't respect your wishes. I just ain't gonna care until I find out that I love you. Then I'm gonna care about what hurts you and what don't hurt you.
Well, yeah.
I know, yeah.
But it's still like, I don't know, like people can.
People
I guess
hurt you, do you wrong. We love you sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta trust us.
No,
Sorry.
Anyway,
I'm sorry, you gotta trust us.
That
we
I'm just
love you all the
alone.
time. We love you all the time.
What did I say sometimes?
You said sometimes.
Ooh, yikes. I mean all the time. I mean double all the time. I mean all the time. Then one more all the time.
We love you all the time. That don't mean we gonna like you all the time. That's just relationships. That's just how the shit go.
Yeah. But understanding of communication gets past all that. What you have to be willing to do once you tell somebody you love them. You can't just say love me and then marry me, do what I say. No, fuck that. No, we gotta have an understanding.
That's a pet.
You know, yeah. You want me to do what you want me to do? Absolutely not. Is that the type of nigga you want? Is go do what you want them to do? Absolutely not. I'm gonna do what is best for you because me and you talked about it.
Of course, they don't want that type of dude. You know, they usually chill. What they call them back in the days, roughnecks. The rebel. You know, so of course they don't want somebody like that.
So they know that it's a time limit on a nigga. Ooh, I want that rough nigga. I know he gonna be in jail in about 10 years, but I'm gonna take him for that 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sorry, it's time to wrap it up, I think.
Well, really, 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 really appreciate you coming. You gave some actually very, very good insight. Loved your opinion, your standpoints on relationships and everything. And I think we had a very sturdy conversation. You even flinched from a man, you know.
Wow.
So from my man, so it means y'all was really energy. It's just like hold up. So where else we at? So everybody else. Oh, actually, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you at?
Oh, you can follow me on IG at always, and then ANAYAA, and then YouTube, Facebook, all that pop up too.
Wait.
And TikTok.
Before we go, I thought you was gonna do a Taraji sting for me.
Who? I'm trying. Let me think.
Monologue. You doing a monologue, right?
If I remember the lines.
You remember them.
Let me see which one that I could do.
Give us something.
But I'm trying to think of like what monologue that I can remember. I'm gonna look real quick because. Okay, I could do the. I could do Taraji now that I think about it, because she's like, y'all can't stay. I got a man, and he don't like kids, so y'all gonna have to figure something else out.
Okay.
Dig that. All right. Well, that was it. We working with that, or we want more? I think that was great. Yes, this is an opportunity for you to shout out whether it's your own or any black business that's out there, so that we can always learn to look out for each other.
Oh.
All you get is one.
I know, but I'm trying to think of like who.
Okay. You got yours? I'm gonna shout out Junk in the Trunk. It's a junk removal spot, and they do phenomenal work.
And I'm gonna shout out LC Coffee Lounge.
Okay, the Beauty Lounge is a black-owned business by a black woman. Her name is Melissa. She does all curly styles, curly cuts, braids, extensions, anything you name it, she does. Silk press, all that.
All right. Respect. Again, thank you so much for stopping by and giving us your time. It means a lot. It's very valuable. Everybody else looking, catch her on Instagram, subscribe, like, chat, all that kind of stuff. And we'll see you when we see you.